I just read the 1974 Civil War novel, The Killer Angels by Michael Shaara. It was recommended to me by my coworker Emily, who lent me her copy. Thank you, Emily, and sorry for spilling coffee on it. And then I watched the 1993 movie Gettysburg, which is based on The Killer Angels. In this video, I'm going to compare both, and at the end, I'll tell you which one I think is better. The Killer Angels is about the 3-day-long Battle of Gettysburg, the deadliest and decisive battle of the American Civil War, fought from July 1st through July 3rd, 1863. This book won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction in 1975, and there's a quote on the cover from General H. Norman Schwarzkopf, who says this is, quote, "the best and most realistic historical novel about war I have ever read." What are your favorite movies or books about the Civil War, or war in general? Let me know in the comments. I myself have not read a ton of war novels, but I will say that I really liked this book. This book is more than just descriptions of the battles and skirmishes that took place in Gettysburg. In the moments between the battles, you spend time with the major players on both the Confederacy and the Union sides, and you learn their inner thoughts about the war and humanity, and it is so detailed that it is written as if Shaara was actually there. Each chapter is told from the perspective of different men involved in the battles. On the Confederate side, primarily General Robert E. Lee, who's played by Martin Sheen in the film, and then his second-in-command, General James Longstreet, who's played by Tom Berenger. And then on the Union side, Colonel Joshua Chamberlain, who's played by Jeff Daniels in the film. Before you even get into the book, though, Shaara gives you brief biographies and descriptions of each of the main players, and I really like that because he gives you just enough information in a short little paragraph that you learn a little bit about each man's history and a little bit about his unique personality. This book also includes really cool maps of the battlefield layout with the positions of the different regiments and brigades at various points throughout this 3-day battle. I really enjoy learning about history, and this book, as far as I know, is very factually accurate. One of the things that I learned is that the Battle of Gettysburg may have never happened if it weren't for a Confederate spy, an actor named Harrison. He found the location of the Union Army. The Confederate Army had no idea where they were. I also found the relationship between Robert E. Lee and James Longstreet pretty interesting. Longstreet was a fan of defensive war, not going on the offensive. And him and Lee really butt heads towards the end because he straight up tells Lee, look, this final charge that you're planning against the Union forces, it's going to fail and a lot of our men are going to die. And Lee goes ahead with it anyway, and Longstreet was right. It's exactly what happens. I feel like Chamberlain is the moral compass of this book and the movie. In the book, he's talking about slavery, and he says, quote, "I don't really understand it. Never have. The more I think on it, the more it horrifies me. How can they look in the eyes of a man and make a slave of him and then quote the Bible?" There's also a great moment where he's trying to convince some Union soldiers who don't want to fight anymore to join them and fight. He says, "This is a different kind of army. If you look at history, you'll see men fight for pay or women or some other kind of loot.
They fight for land, power, because a king leads them or just because they like killing. But we are here for something new. We are an army out to set other men free."
All right, let's talk about the 1993 film Gettysburg, directed by Ronald F. Maxwell. It originally aired as a TV miniseries on TNT. It is over 4 hours long, and it was filmed, at least portions of it, on location at Gettysburg National Military Park. And it is very well done. I mean, it's pretty epic. There are some incredible scenes with a huge number of extras used to portray these large-scale battle sequences, and it looks very authentic. The entire cast is excellent, but in my opinion, the best performance comes from Jeff Daniels as Chamberlain. There's one scene in particular where he's telling his men to fix their bayonets that gave me chills.
Bayonet!
My main criticism of this film would have to be the fact that it's rated PG. which makes sense because it originally aired on television as a miniseries, so they had to kind of tame it down for mass audiences. But I personally prefer war movies to depict the horror and brutality of war, and you do not get that at all in this movie. There's hardly any blood at all, and there's just a lot of scenes of guys getting blown up from cannons and just a bunch of dirt flying and their bodies going around like rag dolls. I think I can count on one hand how many different times somebody got shot and you could actually see some redness in their uniform. I also did feel like some of the battle sequences in the film were a little drawn out. Specifically, Pickett's charge, the final battle on the third day. The Confederates have to march like a mile across an open field, and you witness this pretty much in real time. I mean, they're just slowly walking across this field and getting shot and blown up with cannons. Nothing much else is going on, and it gets a little repetitive. As far as differences between the film and the book go, I really didn't notice any. I mean, some of the dialogue is changed, but other than that, I think maybe there's a scene at the end of the movie where the actor Harrison, the spy, he asks Longstreet if he can join in on the battle, and I don't remember that particular part happening in the book. I could be wrong. Both of these are great. If you are interested in the Civil War, I highly recommend you read The Killer Angels and watch Gettysburg. But in my opinion, the book is better. Honestly, I think it did come down to that PG rating of the film was the difference for me. That being said, it is a great film and can be watched by a younger audience, which is a plus in its own way. All right, I want to hear from you. Have you read The Killer Angels or seen Gettysburg? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for more videos in the near future. My next review will be Jaws, the book versus the movie. Really looking forward to that one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later.